very own Sean Fletcher is involved with. And this is very significant, isn't it, Sean? Because we're talking to the Vaccines Minister, Nadhim Zahawi, today, but there is an issue amongst the Black, Asian, minority, ethnic community about vaccine hesitancy. So, Sean, tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
A group of public faces from the BAME community got together to produce a film to, as you say, sort of dispel all the misinformation that seems to be affecting the uptake of the vaccine amongst some BAME communities. So you wouldn't tell a child around the world, any children around the world, to not take the polio vaccine. And that's exactly what we're saying here. There's so much misinformation. It's not based on any scientific knowledge. I think we can have a look at it now.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Looking after others and serving our community is what we do. It's how we've been brought up. That's why we have such immense pride when a family member becomes a doctor or a nurse.
Today, those doctors and scientists have found us a way forward, a COVID vaccine that is safe and will help save lives.
Now, of course, we have many questions and concerns. Let's clear some of them up.
There is no scientific evidence to suggest the vaccine will work differently on people from ethnic minority backgrounds.
The vaccine does not include pork or any material of fetal or animal origin.
It's important to understand that the vaccine does not contain the live virus itself, only harmless elements from it. And taking the vaccine is the only way to boost the immunity against COVID for you and your loved ones.
So that's a very powerful message, I think, Sean, because
really important.
It is a strange thing that this figure, 72% of the BAME community, either are very unlikely or unlikely to want to have the vaccine. And I've been testing that theory on members of the community that I know and friends and people I've bumped into as well. And it's actually quite scary. How many have said to me, I feel very wary about it. I don't think I want to do it.
Yeah. I mean, you saw those concerns that we were addressing. They're not based on any scientific evidence, but things like there may be pork in the vaccine. Another one that actually, you're not being injected with the virus. You're being injected, I mean, Hilary will give more information on this, but that you're being injected with something that means you don't get the virus, but you're not being injected with the live virus. And those sorts of... Another one is that the virus actually affects BAME people in a worse way to white people. I mean, that's just ludicrous.
But that's the irony of this, Sean, isn't it?
People taking the vaccine, and it's just crazy.
We know that members of the BAME community are more vulnerable to coronavirus. Dr. Hilary, let's bring you in here. I mean, this is the horrible irony of this situation. Is the very community that should be most vigilant and perhaps keenest and should take the vaccine to protect themselves doesn't really seem to want to do it.
Are you hearing these concerns, Dr. Hilary, and how are you dispelling them?
And this is an extraordinarily powerful campaign, and I'm so pleased that those involved have done this, because they are role models and they will be followed by the BAME community, who are, as you say, more vulnerable, more at risk. I mean, I think a lot of the hesitancy stems from historical and cultural problems from the past. BAME community populations haven't been at the forefront of healthcare and health policies for so long. They're wondering why they are now. Why us now? And actually, it's not for any sinister reason. They're not being used as guinea pigs. And we talked to True in Birmingham, didn't we, a couple of days ago, who voiced these potential concerns and said that he wasn't anti-vaxxer at all. He had questions, and it's important that we answer all those questions, as we have seen in that campaign.
That's such a good point, Dr. Hilary, that we shouldn't say that there's anti-vax. It's not about anti-vax, it's about concern.
And they're overrepresented in the NHS. That's why they have had such a high level of mortality compared to other populations, because they're at the forefront, they're seeing patients, they're doing an outstanding job for the NHS and in care homes, and we need to support them.
You know what's causing this, Hilary?
And that's what the vaccine
Social
does.
media is a lot to do with this.
Of course it is.
Social media, these people...
It's antisocial, it's
spewing their conspiracy theory crap, let's call it what it is, all over the internet, 24/7. High-profile people putting their names to this stuff, spreading it around. It is so dangerous.
It's superstitious rubbish.
And, Sean, I mean, you see it, I see it, we're on Twitter, right? We see this stuff. It is dangerous.
Yeah, it is. I suppose what social media, but particularly Twitter, because I don't find the same thing on Instagram in the same way, but that people automatically have a platform, whether you've got one
Facebook
follower or
is on
100,000
Facebook.
followers.
Facebook
and
is bad.
they can put all sorts of information out that hasn't been checked, and that's the problem.
No, it's powerful video, Sean, and it goes such a long way to address those concerns, and absolutely the right thing to do.